Can I recreate shots from a movie in Minecraft? That's the big old question, and we're about to find out. In this video, I'll be building sets, using shaders, and a camera mod to put my cinematic skills to the test. You see, this is the normal content I usually make. It's very cinematic, but are my skills good enough to copy the amazing artwork from the movie Blade Runner 2049? As always, if you enjoy this kind of content, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Alrighty, let's do this. I think first I want to do the little desert shot. I mean, come on, we kind of have to do that one first. We're obviously going to need lots of red sand, red, orangey things. And we kind of just got to start out by getting ourselves a nice landscape going here. Okay, now the shot is extremely foggy. So I think what we're going to actually do is end up turning our render distance down. Now something to note, how I get super cinematic look is usually just change my FOV to 30. It gives us a super zoomed in look. Okay, that's looking perfect already. Except the air around it is super orange. So to be honest, we might actually just end up using a bunch of stained glass. Okay, our camera's gonna be right here, marking with this little mace core. Okay, with the free cam on, I believe, yeah, I can set up a tripod, probably where it's gonna be. Okay, now the sand isn't perfectly all one texture, so we gotta fix that. Okay, this is incredibly helpful. I can set this up quite perfectly now. Looks like we got a little bit of rock stuff here and there. Okay, yeah, boom, that looks pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Yes, this is difficult controlling my player without seeing what I'm looking at. Alright, terrain-wise, I think all that's left to do is just kind of shade the area up a bit with some different blocks, give it a little bit better texture. Just brush stroking in some lines. I gotta remember to go wide with these details. We are going to be using an ultra-wide camera lens. An anamorphic one, if you will. Okay, yes. Check this out already. This already looks so cool. Something else to think about is where is the sun actually, and can we put it down more? That is not the right direction. We're gonna have to rotate everything to the right. Okay, I think having the time set to this specific time is going to allow the ground to have the right shading and the right color that we want, along with the skyline fog towards the end. Only problem is, we do not want that sun there. We can use stained glass and layer it, and I think we can make this work. Okay, this is starting to look good, but I think the amount of diffusion that we're going to have to do to hide the actual sun is going to be too much, and it's going to make everything brown. That's not good. Okay, you can still see the sun, and it looks terrible. It looks really bad. We need to find another solution. I'm almost wondering if we could just turn off the sun, but still get the light from it. Is that possible with this shader pack? Let's find out. Sun. Boom. Okay. That's not bad. Okay, hold on. I've just discovered something. When I go up and down, I get a much different perspective of this lighting that's coming through this glass. Up here, looks terrible. Looks like poop. Down here, looks terrible. Looks like poop. But right here is perfect. It diffuses the sun enough to where if I stood in the way, I think this might just work. I mean, look at this. This is pretty good. Obviously, I can't really block the sun. The lighting doesn't quite match the ground. There is a lot of brightness here, but I actually was able to just turn reflections off of the ground, and I figured it out, but I didn't realize that until Editor Me started to edit. Okay, this is absolutely great. This is awesome. I think that this one, considering that we're in Minecraft, is good to go. And now I present you shot 1. Alrighty, next one that I think is possible is probably this shot here with the building and the tree and the car and all that stuff. I think that this one is probably gonna actually be somewhat similar with the fog situation, but it's doable. It's definitely buildable. I have to pick things that I can actually build in Minecraft. Okay, right off the bat, we have this incredibly grungy floor to make. Okay, I think if we turn rain off, but set it to rainy, that is going to probably get us the perfect lighting. Why is it still rendering rain? Okay, it's not 1000%, but this is getting closer. Look at me, I'm coloring. All right, a pretty immediate thing that we obviously notice here is this tree. And it is super bright white, sort of, kind of not. I don't know what to describe this as. I've never been great at building trees, but there's always a time to learn something. Somehow, some way, somewhere, some will, some why, some when. I am entirely just guessing here. Okay, I'm actually kind of proud of this so far. This looks kind of neat. This is the part of the tree where it threw up and exploded. Okay, I had to severely downgrade the color of the tree. It was too bright, but hey, look at this. Despite it blending in with the background way too much, which we're gonna fix later, this looks pretty good for a tree. Okay, looks like there's some garbage back in here. Let's see, just trying to get these as accurate as I can color-wise. Yeah, I think that works okay. Okay, now the super tricky part is building this car at a diagonal angle. Let's go! Where's all my diagonal shape fans at? Subscribe. Going to use a lot of deep slate. It's kind of a wheel if you squint your eyes. Okay, shape-wise, not terrible. I like the window. This is good. That needs to be darker. Okay, this is actually starting to look super cool. We gotta get some more light on this car. This is genius. Okay, now it looks like we have a weird ball thingy and more barrels. Okay, this is looking awesome. This is looking really good. And everything in this build specifically looks really disgusting. Oh, building another vehicle is going to suck. As always, let's start with the tires. I can't say that this tire design has ever failed me. Some dark, chunky bits for the axles. I think for the window, we could actually probably get away with not having any glass in it, just because it's so far away. This is a great time to mention that everything that I'm doing here is perspective based. And this looks nothing like the truck that it probably does in real life, but you know, it works from a certain angle. Okay, call me crazy, but tell me that this does not look so good right now. Now on to the actual building. This is going to be interesting. Trying to speed things up here, so I'm just doing another progress report. Bunch of time skip. We got a lot more details in here, and it's sort of starting to come together. Okay, boom. Last details are coming together now. And all we have to do is background and some landscaping and squishing some things together a little bit. Okay, I think I've got it dialed in pretty good. Maybe some of the colors are a little bit off. I'll see if I can't fix that in post. And obviously the scale is a bit strange. I don't quite fit in here. I'm a little bit small, but this is Minecraft. And for me to get a realistic shapes and stuff, we kind of have to change the scale up sometimes, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and reveal shot number 2. Oh, hi there. I have the Blade Runner skin on now. Also, it's thunderstorming outside my house, so if you can hear that, I'm sorry. Maybe it'll make this video cozy. Anyways, next I want to do this shot of Officer K on the stairs in the snow. This is in like every Blade Runner edit I've ever seen, and we just have to recreate it. I also installed the sit mod so that we can accurately re-portray everything, so this is gonna be awesome. Almost forgot to put the shaders back on. All right, off the bat, the stairs look like a pretty bright color themselves, but they're not 100% white, so I think I'm just gonna go with andesite slabs. Obviously, it's all snow for the floor. Okay, you know what? Never mind. I'm realizing we can't actually put snow on slabs, which isn't gonna stop me. We're just gonna use quartz every other time. Now, tough part is going to get the background with those giant buildings. Okay, that was great for marking out things, and now I'm gonna just try to block vomit these builds together. All right, let's check it out. Boom. That is not that bad. Okay, honestly, all of these don't have much color detail in the background, which helps me out a lot because I can just use one block, and all I have to focus on is making good looking shapes. Okay, progress update. It's coming together really well. Putting snow on top of things definitely helps with the shelving looking deals of the building. All right, let's see how it is looking now. Whoa. Okay, not bad. Not bad. You can kind of see some skyscrapers in the actual image behind all the other stuff, but I think that's okay. Okay, aside from the scale being way off, with my character once more. I don't know why this keeps happening. It's just because the amount of detail I want to add, it doesn't equate to the actual size of Minecraft things. But hey, I think we're done. Let's go ahead and reveal shot number 3. Can I just take a second to say how beautiful the photon shader is? If your PC can handle a good shader, I highly recommend Photon. Look how good the clouds are. I'm not a fan of realistic clouds in Minecraft, but this is beautiful. All right, on to the next shot. I'm thinking of doing something a bit more challenging. It might be a little harder to pull off, and a lot of this is actually going to be in post with the camera movements and such, but I want to do this shot with the car flying over the city. It's going to be hard to get the city. It's all going to be miniature downscale model for the sake of making it easier on myself. And the car obviously isn't going to be moving, but we are not going to worry about that. Okay, now the fun part, we get to build the car again. Yay, but it doesn't have to be at a diagonal, thank God. We got to figure out how to get the fancy red lights though. Maybe some redstone torch trickery? Shapes are hard and shapes are tough, but no matter what you're doing, just don't give up. Just place a bunch of stairs and slabs on the side. Things will look better, it'll be alright. Okay, I think if you squint from a distance, this could work. I'm probably paying way too much attention to the side here to the point where this is not working out. Okay, this is one of those things I understand is just gonna be a little bit weird, but you'll know what that is if I do it. Okay, now it's time to kind of just paint a bunch of black, weird, some metallic-y somewhat terrain below. Okay, for starters, getting the mountain in is never going to be easy. We're gonna have to work with lots of shapes and stuff here. But as a decent first plop down layout, I don't think that this is that bad. Okay, I've just gone and marked some spots where there might be sort of some structures, and I'm just going to give them a little bit of height. Okay, that kind of gives the vibe I'm wanting. Obviously, the lighting isn't gonna be all sunshine and happy. It's gonna be all dark and gloomy. As long as we can portray that, we'll be okay. Okay, there we go. If you squint, that's a city, right? Maybe I'll copy and paste a bunch of this stuff around. Okay, I think that looks pretty cool. Let's see what it looks like when the weather is icky. Okay, perfect. We just need there to not be any rain. Okay, I've had to adjust some things, move some things around, and I'm not getting the reflectiveness off these buildings that I would like, so I have an idea. Let's just go ahead and stick some light gray carpet on top of all of these. Okay, boom. Check this out. I think that this is starting to look pretty good. Let's go ahead and see how it looks in the final result. Alrighty, now this next shot that we're going to do is a fan favorite probably for a lot of people, and we're going to do the hologram girl, the one where she's kneeling down and Officer K is on the balcony bridge thingy staring up at her, and this is going to be probably more challenging than the last, and this is probably going to be the most challenging one yet. I also just wanted to point out I just downloaded this mod called Essentials so I can change my skin to the Officer K skin, and it's creating a shadow of my name tag. This is weird. Okay, now before we even get into the hologram girl, I gotta figure out how we're gonna do that. Probably gonna use some stained glass. But I think we should build the bridge thingy first. Man, are we using so much deep slate in this video? Thank goodness for Axiom, this would not have been possible without all of these copy and paste features. Oh my gosh, there's another storm happening in real life. I'm scared. Obey. Mojang really needs to add some really dark colored fences that aren't nether brick. I need black fences, Mojang, please. Chains will have to do, I guess. Okay, now that the bridge is done, I'm going to try to tackle some of the buildings in the background, and I'm also going to have to lift this up into the sky. Oh my gosh, my camera is so slow. Do 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 do. Okay, progress update. Here's building number 1 up close. Super ugly, but we come over here and boom, it doesn't look too bad. I'm not getting the lighting that I wanted, but with this done, now we can go work on the other buildings. Oh man, these buildings are going to lack so much detail. You can hardly even tell that they're there in the shot. Okay, this is my best guess at what the building shapes are sort of oriented This is the best I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and slap those window lights on them and hope that that's enough. How did I get an enchanted grass dirt block in my inventory? What is this? Grass block, snowy falls? Okay, it's still not the right color that we want, but there's not much we can do about that without colored lighting in Minecraft yet. Don't worry, we're gonna play with the fog in just a little bit, but before we get into any of that, we gotta attempt to build this lady. And now I'm realizing that she's not as see-through as I initially thought, so maybe glass isn't really the move here. I've never been good at drawing hands, and I don't think that building them is going to be any easier whatsoever. Okay, you know what? That's not terrible. That's not super bad. I'm also beginning to be massively concerned with the scale that this is going to have to be for me to pull this off. And I hope I don't have to downscale and reconstruct this entire thing. That would suck. Now I have to build a knee. If you asked Kid Me what I'd be doing in the future, the answer I would have given is not building kneecaps in Minecraft. Okay, progress update. It looks like I chewed up a bunch of bubble gum and strung it out of my mouth like a 5-year-old, and then squished it into a ball and flung it through the air. This looks absolutely ridiculous. I think that it's just because it's a blob right now, but maybe once I get the face in and add in the hair, you'll be able to tell that this is an arm, and this is an arm, and that's a knee. Maybe, and that's a leg. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I made some adjustments, changed the depth on some things. This is actually looking a little bit better. Still like a giant piece of gum, but I'm starting to see it now that I compare it to the image. Here, you can compare it to the image too. Biggest thing is that I need to really emphasize the 3D of this. If I try to do it too flat, it's gonna look like pixel art. Okay, with the majority of this done, let's move on to the hair. This is where I could use some glass. Okay, the glass is cool. It gives us the ability to have some more lines here and there. The best thing about this back piece of hair is that it's just that. It's behind her face. So I kind of more use it as a backdrop. And I think with this being in reference, I might try to tackle the face first before I run out of room with the rest of the hair. This is potentially the hardest thing I've ever done, is attempt to build a face. I want to apologize to the actress right now for how poorly I am portraying her. You have to do a nose and a mouth, and it's all kind of at like a diagonal sort of shape, and it's blowing my mind. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. When you zoom out, if you just really look at it right, it's starting to look like a face. It's been like an hour, and it's starting to look like a face. Now, how do I do the eyeballs? Oh, that's how you do an eyeball. Okay, I need everyone to turn on their 3D brains. And if you're looking at this the same way I am, like picture her looking straight to the right, I can kind of see it. This is like some of that weird block magic where like the further you get away, the better it looks. Okay, now that I have her face in line, I need to adjust the hair just a little bit and maybe move her face over just a tad. But I'm gonna go ahead, add in the rest of this hair, slap it on up with the rest of the build, and we're gonna call this good. Okay, this is looking pretty good, but I've ran into another problem. Framing's good, everything's good. How am I going to light her? If it needs to be nighttime, I can't just make those blocks glow. Okay, I may have come up with an idea, and I think it's gonna be a little bit cheeky, and please don't be mad at me for thinking of this idea, but it may be the only way that this works. I'm essentially gonna have to do a bunch of magic in Premiere Pro. That's what I use to edit. And I'm just gonna do a bunch of cutting out and layering things, and then hopefully be able to make it glow in post. And if it worked, well, I guess you'll see the final result right now. Okay, I'm so happy I managed to get that to work out, because that took an absolute really, really long time, and now I'm having trouble flying in an empty direction where I haven't built something. All right, for this last one, I wanted to go super simple because the one before was just so tough. I want to do a simple one, and I thought that this shot right here, with this person in the doorway, was really cool. I like the framing of it all. I don't know, the film kid in me is nerding out about this one a little bit, so I want to see if I can make this. For starters, all we have to do is build a really dark room. All right, now it looks like we have a very reflective floor, and I have a trick to pull off for this, and maybe this will be a tip for you as well. But if you have good shaders with good lighting, Look how reflective the tinted glass is. Oh my gosh, I can't see anything right now. Boom, there we go. We get that perfect door reflection that we're gonna need. This is great. Now all we gotta do is try to design the little room in the background. We're probably gonna push it back a ways so that you can actually see some detail. I think this is actually gonna be a good opportunity to use some end stone. I never use end stone because, I mean, look at that thing. That color is disgusting. Okay, I thought that was like a little closet thing. I think it's actually a stairway up to another room. I'm now realizing they don't look like stairs, but there's very obviously a room up here somewhere. I think what we're actually seeing is the ceiling, so I really just need to get the ceiling down, but I'm having to push it out. Okay, this is our little yellow room. Okay, that looks great, but we're getting the reflection on the floor, which is not great. Why is it reflecting so far? Now we can begin controlling our lighting on the inside. Going to turn colored lighting on in my shader pack settings. Does this actually... Oh, it does! Oh, that's very nice. Okay, sea lanterns and green frog light. Excuse me, verdant frog light gives us this nice fluorescent, bright buzzy color. Now that everything's super dark, I almost want to change these blocks to a different color. Something a bit more lighter. This is too dark. Okay, yeah, that color is way closer to what is in the actual shot. Now we just kind of got to light up that room a little bit more, and we should be about done. I'm actually going to use a command that makes my character a little bit smaller. 0.5. Oh, okay, that's a little bit too small. I look like a little Oompa Loompa. Okay, that works a little bit better. I just wanted to be able to still see the lanterns. Okay, with that, I think that this is pretty much all finished up. And without further ado, let's go ahead and show you the final shot. Alright, just a quick reminder, I do have a community Discord, so if you want to join that, the link will be down in the description below. There you can get notified when I release a video, go live, and get access to Q&A stuff, submit fan art. It's super cool, so go ahead and join that. And also some great news, I officially unlocked channel memberships, so if you want to join that, you just click the little join button next to the subscribe button, and then you can unlock exclusive perks that normal subscribers can't, like getting a shout out at the end of every video, early access to videos, and so much more. It's a great way to support me so that way I can keep making awesome content for you guys. It's always been my dream to do this full time. But if you aren't, no worries. I still love you. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. This was an absolute blast. Make sure you guys leave a like if you enjoyed the video. And be sure to subscribe. It helps me out so much. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!